Hello, in this video we will look at the concept of word class in grammar. What is word class? Word class refers to groups or categories of words that perform the same grammatical function. There are certain you can group words or you can categorize words based on their grammatical function, and word classes are also called parts of speech. So this is a term that you would be very familiar with, parts of speech, and word class just means exactly the same thing as parts of speech. Basically, we divide words into different groups or categories on the basis of their grammatical function. All the words that perform a particular grammatical function are grouped together into one category. That is called one particular word class or one particular part of speech. Word classes can be broadly divided into two. Now we know that parts of speech in English, for example, are generally divided into 9. Right, we'll come to that. But word class in general, broadly, they can be divided into two. And these are form class and function class. Form class and function class. Now, we will look at some of the characteristics of form class and function class and try to distinguish between the two. What do we mean by form class and what do we mean by function class? So, first of all, let us see which parts of speech come under form class and which under function class. So, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs come under form class. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. There is something similar to all these, and that is why they are categorized together as form class. On the other hand, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, and interjections come under function class. They are all similar in a particular way. Now, what is the similarity among these items that we have grouped together, and how are they different from the other class? We will see the features one by one. The first point is that form class words have a reasonably clear lexical meaning. Lexical meaning means dictionary meaning. If you look in a dictionary, you will see a reasonably clear meaning that is given for these words. You take any noun, verb, adjective, or adverb, and you look in the dictionary, you will see a very clear meaning that has been given for that particular word. So, all these words, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, they have this particular characteristic feature in common. On the other hand, if you look at function class words like pronouns, prepositions, etc., if you look them up in the dictionary, they have no such definable lexical meaning. You may not find a very clear meaning for those terms in the dictionary. Not that they don't have meaning, they do, but sometimes more than the meaning of a word, like if you say the word on, on, how do you define that word? Right? In all contexts, on does not mean the same thing. Rather, the meaning of the word on changes in relation to what grammatical function does it serve in a particular sentence. Therefore, function class words have no clearly definable lexical meaning. You will still find them in a dictionary, but it's very difficult to explain what is the meaning of a particular function class word. So function class words have no such clearly definable lexical meaning, but rather they are important in their function to form structural frames. So rather than saying what is the meaning of the word on, you wonder what is the function of that word on in a particular sentence. How does on function? On can mean, if you say on the table, it can show place. However, if you say on the dot of 9 o'clock, then that means it's showing a particular time, a precise time. If you say on this particular date, again it is showing time, but it is showing date rather than an exact time. So each of those function class words could be understood much more clearly in relation to the function that they perform in a particular sentence. What kind of structural frames do they form in a function, in a sentence? That is their function, and that will give us a better idea of the function class words than a dictionary meaning. So this is the first difference between form class words and function class words. Form class words have a reasonably clear lexical meaning, whereas function class words do not, but rather they are more important in their function within a sentence. Second point, form class words are an open set of words. An open set means that you can keep adding to the set. They are more numerous and new words can be added into the set. So nouns, you can keep creating. If you find a new thing, you have to give it a new name, right? Then you are creating a new noun. Like that, if you discover or you invent a new activity, then you give a new name to it. It's a new verb. So nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs, form class words are an open set. New words can always be added into the set, and because of that, this entire set is it's a numerous set. Precisely, it is so numerous that you will never be able to enumerate. You will never be able to write down every single noun, every single verb, every single adjective or adverb that exists in the universe, because they keep, first of all, they are very large, they're a huge set, and secondly, you can keep adding new words into the set. Therefore, we call form class words an open set of words. In contrast to this, function class words are a closed set. Generally, no new words can be added. Which are the conjunctions? We know which are the conjunctions, and we keep using the same conjunctions in different sentences. Articles a, and, the. You can't just create new articles, but rather you have to keep using those articles. There is a definite article and then there are the indefinite articles, and you have to keep using the same. So like that, these are a closed set of words. You can't keep adding new words, and precisely because of that, because you can't keep adding new words, they are also a small limited set. So this is the second difference between form class and function class words. Form class words are an open set. You can keep adding new words to it, whereas function class words are a closed set and generally you don't add new words to them. Now the third point, as far as form class words are concerned, each of these words occurs less frequently precisely because they are greater in number. So we already mentioned that form class words are much more numerous than function class words. Precisely because of this, each of those words occurs less frequently in our usage. If you generally take the total number of words that you have spoken in a day, and you look at how many words, obviously you don't do this, but suppose you are in a language lab or something and somebody is analyzing the total number of words that you have spoken in a day, then you will find that if you take one particular noun that you have used, like table, how many times would you have used that word, that precise word table? That would be much less than your usage of a function class word like on or the. You know that those words, precisely because they are limited, you have to keep using the same words, and therefore they occur more frequently in language usage. So form class words, each of the words would occur less frequently in our usage, whereas function class words, precisely because they are limited in number, they occur much more frequently in language usage. Fourth point, form class words can take class markers like inflectional and derivational affixes. For example, plural markers like s or es, they show plural in nouns. Tense markers in verbs like ed or ing show whether a particular word is past tense, present tense, progressive tense, etc. So these are called class markers. So if a word has s at the end or es at the end, and you can And if it is a noun, it is showing plural. If a word has s at the end and it is a verb, it is showing the present tense singular, third person present tense singular. So like that, these kind of ses and such markers, such affixes can be added to form class words. But function class words, you cannot really add such class markers. So take a conjunction like because. You can't say becauses or becausing or becaused. You can't say that, right? So that is another difference between form class and function class words. Form class words generally take affixes. You can add prefixes, suffixes like that. Usually it is in the form of plural markers like s or es in nouns, or tense markers like ed or ing in verbs. But such affixes cannot be added to function class words. Now, the fifth point. Minimum free utterances can be formed with only form class words. Minimum free utterances means a full sentence which can stand freely, independently, which has full meaning. Such sentences can be formed only even if you use only form class words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Look at these examples. Riya loves books. Riya loves books. Riya, noun, loves, verb, books, again, noun. Similarly, Hamid enjoys chocolates. Hamid is a noun, enjoy, verb, and chocolates is again a noun. So here we are forming full sentences. These sentences have meaning in themselves, they can stand alone, but they are formed using only form class words like nouns and verbs. So, form class words alone can form sentences, proper sentences. However, function class words cannot form full sentences by themselves, but only in combination with form class words. So, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, and interjections, if you just put them together, of, the, because, you cannot form a sentence like that. You have to combine them with other form class words. Only then can you form full sentences. And the last point, as far as form class words are concerned, those individual words can be translated into another language precisely because they have clear lexical meanings. So in the first point we said that form class words have clearly definable lexical meanings. If you look in the dictionary, you will find the clear meaning of those words. Because of that, individual words, an individual noun or a verb or an adjective can be translated into another language. ഒരു വാക്കിന് കൃത്യമായ അർത്ഥമുള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അതിനെ മറ്റൊരു ഭാഷയിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. However, in the case of function class words, such piecemeal translation is often difficult. Individual words എടുത്ത് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ക്ലാസ് വേർഡ്സിൻ്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരിക്കും. For example, as we already mentioned, a preposition like to, to, can be related to different things like a person, a place, a time, etc. I gave something to her. Then to is related to a person. But if you say from Kasargod to Kanyakumari, there to means something else. It is related to a place and it is showing a range from Kasargod to Kanyakumari. Or if you say from 10 to 5, from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock, again 2 shows a time here. So like that, the prepositions or any other function class words would have a specific function that they perform in that sentence, and the meaning is related to that. So when you translate, many times you cannot directly translate such words. If you take any such function class word in English and try to translate it into Malayalam, you will find that most of the time it is very difficult to translate such words. Whereas if you take a noun or a verb or an adjective, it is much easier to translate them into another language. This is the sixth difference between form class and function class words. So to sum up, Word class can also be called parts of speech, and the word class just refers to groups or categories of words that perform the same grammatical function. So you group all the words performing the same grammatical function into one category, and that is called word class, or that is called a particular part of speech. And word class in general can be broadly divided into two: form class and function class. Under form class we have nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs, and under function class we have pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, articles and interjections. Thank you.